On October 26, 2018, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, two YNW associates, being Sakchaser and Juvy, would sadly pass away while leaving a recording studio alongside YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen. Now, YNW Bortlen alleges that while driving home inside of the vehicle with Melly, Sakchaser, and Juvy, an opposing vehicle filled with rival street members blocked off their vehicle on the road. The opposing car then rolled their windows down and began using firearms against Melly and Bortlen's vehicle. With Bortlen being the driver of the car, he then swerved the car off the road into an empty parking lot. While doing so, he was mainly protecting his side of the car, leaving Sakchaser and Juvy's side of the car an open target to these individuals. Now, this would eventually lead to those two passing, and instead of calling an ambulance to the scene immediately for their two best friends who were sitting in critical condition, GPS evidence found through YNW Melly's phone revealed they sat in that empty parking lot for roughly 40 minutes, not getting any sort of help, no ambulance, and not even an urge to drive Sakchaser and Juvy to the local hospital down the street. Thankfully, once Bortlen did drive them to the hospital 40 minutes later, YNW Melly was seen on that same GPS evidence through his cell phone, sprinting home on foot, leaving the other three YNW affiliates to themselves, going to the hospital. Once arriving to the local hospital, Bortlen would then get Sakchaser and Juvy help, but it was sadly too late at this point, as the incident now happened over an hour ago. A police officer then interviewed Bortlen at the hospital after he was seen going to the scene of the crime to try to find some sort of evidence. Here's the interview between Bortlen and the detective.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
If you're a fan of YNW Melly, leave a like on the video. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. With YNW Bortlen explaining the situation, it's clear detectives were not buying a single thing he said, as it really didn't make much sense. Now, YNW Bortlen and Melly would then be let free until further notice, while they would go on and build a case. It wouldn't be until February 13th, 2019, where YNW Melly would announce this on Instagram. No, I did not get locked up in Washington, but I am turning myself in today. A couple months ago, I lost my two brothers to an incident, and now the system wants to find justice. A lot of rumors and lies are being said, but no worries. God is with me and my brother at YNW Bortlen. And we want y'all to remember, it's a YNW family. I love you. Now, this means YNW Melly has now been sitting inside of jail for roughly 4 years, waiting patiently for his trial to begin, but countless delays would make Melly begin to lose hope. YNW Melly's trial was supposed to start roughly 5 times. The latest delay to the trial was after the YNW Bortlen interview that I shared earlier was released to the public, as it's another piece of hard-hitting evidence against Melly. However, before all of this happened, there was a chance of YNW Melly being released from prison before his trial would begin. Many people are unaware of this, but Melly's mom wrote to Instagram, "The penalty has officially been removed from Melly's case. Thank you, Jesus. #FreeMelly2022. As it was announced that Melly is no longer facing the penalty in his case, his chances of being released on house arrest were actually very high. This was due to no prosecutors having hard-hitting evidence against him. And to back up that claim, 100K Track, also known as Melly's manager, said this in an interview with DJ Academics.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent, because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle themselves in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying. You don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
If YNW Melly's defense team has done as good as a job as sources claim, Melly could have been released from jail. But as usual, whenever something good happens to YNW Melly, something bad usually happens next. This is when on September 30th, news outlets started reporting YNW Melly is being accused of teaming up with one of his lawyers to plot a prison escape. As the Broward County Jail where YNW Melly is currently locked up did an interview with Complex, where they mentioned in the courtroom on April 11th, 2022, the Broward Sheriff's Office received a confidential tip regarding inmates Nicholas Lewis and Jamal Demons, both housed in the same unit at the main jail, planning an escape from jail by having Demons' attorney bring in 2 handcuff keys in order to aid the escape. Additional information provided by the source was that Lewis had an illegal item inside of jail, as well as narcotics that were not prescribed to him, as YNW Melly's mom even reacted to this being released.
Okay, so I'm at work and I just seen this crazy story. First of all, this is just another tactic for them to try to literally just tarnish my son's character and everything. They do not want him having attorney visits in person, which will cause for ineffective counsel. So we went to court for that, and they took his phone calls and they have him locked down. They had no evidence whatsoever that his attorneys did anything wrong to prove these accusations, but they knew it would get picked up by the media. So when we get ready to pick a jury, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, it's gonna be, oh, this kid tried to escape. Oh, this kid tried to do all these things. This is all fake because they do not have a case.
Now in that video, YNW Melly's mom mentions how the feds have no evidence against Melly, so prosecutors are trying to do anything to make him look bad in front of the jury, which is definitely seeming to work. And now with YNW Melly looking very bad in front of the jury once again, his chances of being released from prison until trial begins is now 0. And this all didn't settle well with YNW Melly at all, as he officially responded to it on Instagram. What I'm about to share is very serious. If you're a Melly fan, I encourage you to follow along, as YNW Melly wrote on Instagram, and I quote, "As of this moment today, I am officially nervous for my life. A new captain named Hubert and XO Jenkins have now taken over the jail for 2 weeks now, and have handed out even harsher punishments for me than the ones previous in place. Since December 1st, I have been moved and housed on a unit that holds 24 inmates at once. I am the only inmate being housed on the vacant unit, with no phone privilege, no telephone, no television, and no access to a newspaper. They are watching my every move on camera, making sure I don't use the phone to tell the world how I'm being mistreated, messed with physically, and more. When I come out of my cell for the 1 hour per day, all other inmates in the adjoining dorms must go back in their jail cell. I am being subjected to cruel and unusual treatment at the hands of deputies and high-ranking staff of the Broward Sheriff's Office. I have even been told by deputies, lieutenants, and sergeants that say they will hide me from the world and mention they will go after me every day if I tell my lawyers, and they will lie and say I went after them first." Those are words from Sergeant Anthony Kidd and Lieutenant Gene. I have literally been hidden from the world. I have no other choice but to believe the next step is them messing with me to the point of no return, like they do all of the other inmates daily here at the main jail in Broward County. This then led into the second message posted to YNW Melly's Instagram account that reads, "I can't call my family or lawyers to notify them if I've been messed with or bothered. They say my phone privileges are taken permanently because of all of the infractions over the last 7 months. That is a lie. They took my phone privileges indefinitely off of my one violation for using using another inmate's PIN. This was to talk on the phone when I was not allowed to use the phone. If I had been treated like every other inmate at this facility, my phone PIN would have been restored and my phone privileges given back to me after 30 days per the handbook. I have, however, went without phone privileges since May 8th, 2022, and have not been given back my phone PIN since the first year that I was here. I have served all of my disciplinary time, so why are my phone privileges still taken? Why am I the only inmate on a unit by themselves? Blocked from any human interaction. There are inmates here that have been convicted of orchestrating robberies over the jail phone, and another who planned an escape from jail that was all carried over the jail phone. They are still allowed to use the phone after committing serious crimes, as well as security concerns to the facility, but my phone privileges are taken indefinitely for violating a phone policy that carries a punishment of 30 days max. I am housed and surrounded in the care of power-struck deputies, as well as captains of high authority that have even told me to my face that they don't like me, and I make them mad. I am not safe in the hands of these people, especially if the highest in command of the jail doesn't like me. I am nervous of my life, my family is nervous, and I cannot do another day here. Someone please help me get moved to another county jail until my trial, please. Now this answers the question of YNW Melly's official release date from prison. With everything going on right now and the new evidence being found against him, there no longer is one. He wants to go to a new jail now just to wait out his time until trial, and if that's something you want to stay up to date with, make sure you subscribe to the channel.